life on the planet Earth is beautiful and thrilling. Despite human frailties and failures, in spite of all the progress that science has made, we are still unable to understand fully the structure of the universe we live in. Man is still searching for answers to many questions regarding the origin of the universe and life on Earth. Some of the questions that baffle us are: what is this universe? And what is its shape? When and how was the universe created? Will the world, at some time in future, end? And if so, how and when? There are myths and stories about the end of the universe. The question, how will the world end, is an age-old one. Humans are the best of creation, and the most intelligent. They have developed a magnificent planet out of forests and desert lands. However, man has a fear that the life on the planet Earth will not be a permanent one. In the poem Fire and Ice, Robert Frost meditates on the two possibilities that will cause the doom on human race. The notion of fire and ice destroying human habitats are certain possibilities. The myth of Noah and his ark during the Great Deluge, sent by God as a punishment, predates Jewish holy book Torah, and goes back to the dawn of civilization in Mesopotamia. The deluge myth is a narrative in which a great flood is sent by God or deities to destroy civilization as a punishment. The Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh speaks of a great flood. The highest god Enlil decides to destroy the world, and god Ea, who created humans out of clay and divine blood, secretly warns the hero Utnapishtim and give him instructions to build a giant boat. There is another flood story in Sumerian creation myth, where god Enki warns Susudra, the ruler of Shuruppak, of an impending great flood, and asking him to build a large boat. The flood myth exists in Babylonian epic of Atrahasis and the Deucalion and Pyre in Greek mythology. Matsya, avatar of Lord Vishnu, warns first man Manu of great pralaya in Hinduism. Gunyu in Chinese myths, Bergelma in Norse mythology, and Mayan myths too speak of great floods. There are instances of the creators raining down fire and brimstone to destroy human race for their evil deeds. These are myths or stories. In the present world, can a flood or fire destroy the entire human race?
Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice.
There are many ideas about how the world will end. It can be an atomic explosion or an asteroid collision, but certainly not a wildfire. Do you think the world will end someday? Everything that has a beginning has an end. The world too might have an ending, but we are not sure how it will be. Have you ever thought what would happen if the sun got so hot that it burst, or grew colder and colder? For Robert Frost, what do fire and ice stand for? Here are some ideas: greed, avarice, cruelty, lust, conflict, fury, intolerance, rigidity, insensitivity, coldness, indifference, hatred. The theme of the poem. The theme of the poem is very simple, but so complex. It is about our origin and existence. How our world is going to end. Robert Frost wrote Fire and Ice in 1920, just 2 years after the end of World War I. Just a year back, W.B. Yeats had written the poem, The Second Coming, with the warning: things fall apart, the center cannot hold. An ugly creature crawls from Bethlehem. It predicted the second coming of Christ, and the end of the world. It was also a time of revolutions, the Russian Revolution in 1917, and there was social and political chaos. People feared apocalyptic-like events. 2 of the 4 classical elements, earth, water, air and fire, are mentioned in the poem. Ice is usually interpreted as water. Frost says that he has heard people say, the world will end in fire. Some are of the view that the end will be because of ice. In other words, the world will either burn up or freeze up. Fire stands for extreme desires of the people, burning with desire. Man's greed and avarice may cause the doom. The poet also imagines the possibility of ice or water destroying the world. Ice and coldness stands for human cruelty, lust, hatred, and insensitivity. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? The poem is written in a single 9-line stanza. The rhyme scheme is ABA, ABC, BCB. The poem's meter is an irregular mix of iambic tetrameter and diameter. How does it help in bringing out the contrasting ideas in the poem? The rhyme scheme itself is irregular and uncommon, just like the ideas mentioned in the poem. Dante's terza rima rhyme scheme consists of an interlocking, 3-line rhyme scheme. The idea of the world ending in either fire or ice is contrasting. They are the 2 extremes, just the opposites. The idea of the world being destroyed by either fire or ice are just 2 distinct possibilities.